Hello and welcome. My name is Alex, and I'm Hotel AI expert with a deep background in modern hospitality operations. I am so pleased to welcome all of you from the Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. Now, if you're building a career in this industry, you're stepping into one of the most dynamic fields out there. But its greatest strength, people working together, can honestly be its biggest challenge. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why collaboration is so incredibly crucial, and more importantly, how you can master it. Let's dive in.
This quote right here, this is the key to everything we're about to talk about. See, misunderstandings almost never happen because someone's trying to be difficult. They happen because of different perspectives, different pressures, and totally different priorities. The moment you really truly get this, you'll stop looking for someone to blame, and you'll start looking for a solution.
So what's actually creating all this tension? Well, a hotel is basically a pressure cooker. Every single department is racing against the clock to meet these incredibly high guest expectations. But here's the thing you have to remember. Not all pressure is created equal.
Think about it like this. What feels like a 5-alarm fire at the front office might just be a little bit of background noise in the kitchen. A sudden rush of check-ins, that's an immediate crisis for the front desk. But for housekeeping, it's a problem that messes up tomorrow's carefully planned schedule. The very first step to real collaboration is just recognizing that everyone is fighting their own urgent battle.
Okay, so where does this clash of priorities become most obvious? Let's take a look at the four most common friction points you're going to run into, probably every single day. And we'll start with a real classic. Just look at this slide. On one side, you've got the front office, living in the right here, right now. A guest is literally standing there tapping their foot waiting. On the other side, you've got housekeeping. Their world is all about logistics, planning, and method. For them, quality takes time. So when the front office calls down demanding a room now, it can throw housekeeping's entire system into chaos. This isn't a conflict between people. It's a fundamental conflict of pace. Now, with F&B, the key issue is information. A guest complains about their dinner bill when they're checking out. Who takes the heat? Yep, the front office. They're stuck trying to solve a problem they have zero context for. Meanwhile, the food and beverage team feels totally blindsided, blamed for something they could have easily explained if they'd just known about it sooner. It's a classic breakdown, and it's all caused by a lack of shared, real-time info.
Oh, this is a big one, the battle between flexibility and procedure. The front office's main goal is to make a guest happy and to do it instantly. If that means a quick refund or a comp, they want to get it done. But for the finance department, their job is to protect the hotel's assets. Their procedures aren't there to be difficult. They're critical safeguards against financial errors or even fraud. The real challenge is finding that sweet spot where you can deliver seamless service while keeping everything financially sound.
And finally, we have this delicate dance between being welcoming and being safe. The front office is trained to accommodate, to say yes. Security is trained to manage risk, to sometimes say no. So when a guest gets locked out of their room and doesn't have their ID, these two missions just collide. The front office sees a guest in distress. Security sees a potential liability. The only way to navigate this is with clear, pre-agreed protocols that both teams understand and, most importantly, respect. Okay, we've identified the problems. Now, how do we actually solve them? The goal isn't to get rid of conflict completely. Let's be real, that's impossible. The goal is to have the right tools to manage it constructively. So let's open up the collaboration toolkit. You know, the most powerful tool you have in your entire kit is emotional intelligence. And it's simpler than it sounds. It just means pausing for a second to recognize the stress you're feeling and, just as importantly, to consider the pressure the person you're talking to is under. In a high-stakes environment like a hotel, how you say something is often way more important than what you say. And you can put this into practice today. Seriously. Instead of demanding, "Is the room ready yet?" Try asking, "Hey, what's the latest update on room 305?" Before you forward a complaint, maybe start by saying, "I know you guys are swamped, but..." And a simple thank you can build more goodwill than a dozen emails ever could. These are small shifts, I know, but they completely change the dynamic.
Now, individual skills are absolutely essential, but you can't stop there. The very best hotels don't just hope for collaboration, they build systems that pretty much guarantee it. These systems are the real foundation for a culture of trust.
Systems like these are basically the architecture of collaboration. Daily briefings make sure everyone starts on the same page. Shared digital logs mean that crucial information isn't trapped in one person's notebook. Proactively sharing info about VIPs and groups prevents those last-minute scrambles. These aren't just procedures, they are the channels that allow trust and transparency to flow freely through the hotel.
Ultimately, all of these systems, all of these tools, they serve one primary goal: creating psychological safety. That's a space where any team member can raise their hand and say, "I need help with this," or "Can you explain that again?" without ever fearing that they'll look incompetent. When people feel safe enough to be uncertain, you shift from constantly fixing problems to actually preventing them from ever happening in the first place.
And that really brings us to the heart of the matter. You will never, ever eliminate all conflict or pressure. The real measure of a high-performing team isn't a lack of problems. It's the level of trust they have in each other. Trust that everyone has good intentions, trust that everyone is competent, and trust that everyone is working toward the exact same goal: an exceptional experience for the guest.
So we've talked about different perspectives, we've talked about tools and systems, but at the end of the day, trust always starts with one person deciding to act. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. As a future leader, what is the very first step you will take to start building that trust when you walk into your hotel tomorrow? Thank you.